What's up? What's
Welcome to Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. Part of the Fanatical L's Network, fans first. Join us now. Join us now. I'm Johnny Cleveland. There's Lou Marconi, and we brought guests. This is a special edition of the Stirring the Pot show. We have the Browns, the NFL released their schedule tonight, so we're going to talk. We're going to dive right into it. Lou, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm in the process right now of adding my Twitter.
Oh, okay, cool.
And my YouTube on here.
We're having kicks with the Facebook feed from fans first, it seems like.
Yeah, I saw that. So I'm adding that. If you can find me on X or Twitter at L Marconi 1973.
By the way, I got to say this out before we introduce our guests, which many people already know, but I was at work today at a school that I work at, and your name, Lou, and I, they know that I do a show with you, and so this person didn't know.
That swears all the time.
They didn't know of your fandom because I went into the whole wrestle stuff, and he started reading your Wikipedia page, and he's like, "Dude, this guy's." I said, "Yeah, he's like this champion and that," and I said, "Well, you should listen."
Belts
to
are behind me.
He's got some stories.
So, they
so,
usually involve a midget, but we can't talk about it here.
Yeah, we won't do that. Welcome, Ethan Greenberg, and welcome Joel Cade.
And that midget's not Dylan Gabriel. So here we go.
Are you taller than he is?
I'm taller than Dylan Gabriel. Yes, I'm 5'0".
Jeez. So we're gee whiz. So
we started off right out of the gate.
Ethan Greenberg is here from Going Nuclear and the best okay, say it for me.
Best doggone podcast in the land.
Best damn doggone podcast.
You know what, Lou? The thing was, I looked at the best damn podcast in the land, but that was already taken by somebody. So I was like, oh, well, we'll go best doggone podcast,
Totally makes sense. I'm just an idiot and I can't talk.
Oh, it's
Joel Cade is back with us with his What the Elf.
Yeah.
Was that, and he does these great, if you're watching us live here on the X or Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, he's doing graphics. Thank you, Joel, for being here.
Thanks for having me on. I'm going to have to ask, what the elf is this schedule? I mean, come on.
So let's talk schedule, guys. Lou, you're our co-host. What do you think?
Well, I'm not mad at all about it. I wasn't expecting any. If we were going to expect maybe one Thursday night game,
yeah.
But if you want to consider, would you consider the Baltimore Sunday 4:25 November 16th game a prime time? Do you think that will be a national game? No, they're just shaking.
Actually, it will. It probably is slated to be the main game on
CBS.
On CBS.
Yeah.
That's my guess, but we'll see how it's going because
we don't deserve it. We don't deserve it.
Right,
we got to earn it. We got to earn it. I think everybody believes that.
What, donuts are for closers or something? Or
sprinkles are for winners.
Sprinkles are for winners. There it is. I knew it was something along the line. Prime time is for winners. Sprinkles are something along those lines. Now, I think they're hoping. They're figuring we'll be on our third or fourth quarterback, and they're figuring it'll be a Shador and Lamar showdown.
I think you might get a Shador Cam Ward showdown when the Titans roll into town. I'm trying to figure out what week that is.
They're going to play both Gabriel and Shador. I think they're going to start. They're going to see what they have. I think they got to.
December 7th, when the Titans roll into town. So I got a couple thoughts. I mean, I always look at these schedules like college football schedules because I am convinced from the start, and I'm going to start with all my conspiracy theories, all of my what the hell.
You were talking about it before, man. I love to hear it.
Like, I swear to God, these owners pay off the schedule makers. Like the teams that like the NFL thinks are going to be good teams get cupcakes, quote unquote cupcakes, to start the season, and then other teams who are not get like these rough games to start the season, and then the schedule lightens up as it goes. Like one year, the Ravens got 5 games straight with teams starting rookie quarterbacks. It was outrageously dumb. But the Browns come out with the Bengals, which is a winnable game in my opinion.
Yeah.
The Ravens, the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings in Minnesota.
No,
that's in London.
In London with no bye week afterward, going right
They
to
chose
Pittsburgh.
that. They chose that, Joel.
They chose the week 9 bye week. Yeah.
Okay.
They were given the choice.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something right now. First of all, like you said, winnable game against Cincinnati. Cincinnati starts slow. We play Cincinnati well at home. Now you're adding, let's see what Mason Graham can do. If he's anything like what they've sold him to be and Myles Garrett does his normal thing, Joe Burrow's going to have a real long day. Second of all, that game, screw the bye week after Minnesota and London. We're going to lose in Pittsburgh anyway. It's killing 2 birds with one
Eternal
stone.
optimist over here.
No, it's true. How many times are we going to lose to Mike Tomlin and their defense? They have no offense, and we still can't.
I'm going to time out here. I gotta stop everybody here because Ethan is really hyped up tonight, and I believe it has something to do with the Cleveland Cavaliers last night.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that here in a little bit. But back to the schedule. Okay, go, Ethan.
So, yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is I wouldn't have minded if they had made Pittsburgh week 1 because we always lose week 1 and we always lose at Pittsburgh. Kill 2 birds with one stone. We know what's going to happen. And if it doesn't, it'll be a freaking act of God. So, look at this ridiculous ass schedule. I mean, it's crazy.
I haven't heard Ethan swear so much off camera in my entire life. He dropped the F-bomb about 1,000 times. I'm just reporting this as facts, but
it's May.
Podcaster, man.
Lou's got a special guest if you're watching live.
Hey, we loved it when the children dropped by.
Yeah. Yay for the children.
Good night, honey. I love you. All right.
We all love you. Good night.
Joel, are you selling
my oldest? This is my oldest, Isabella.
Hi, Isabella.
Hi, Isabella.
Hi.
Good night. I love you. All right. They got school tomorrow.
Lou, I
Good dad you are.
You said here, Mason Graham. I want to jump on Mason Graham for a second.
Yeah.
If Mason Graham, and this stuff about him puking is totally overrated, by the way.
It is.
But if he comes in and plays like half the player he played at Michigan, that middle of that lineup is going to be settled. We're not going to have a problem up the middle. I mean, like you guys know, I like offensive, defensive line stuff. I was watching this guy after they drafted him. I was pretty upset draft night. But I watched the player they got, and he's a baller. And he's going to plug up that hole. That middle is going to be taken care of.
That sounds like a personal problem, Joel.
He's going to plug up that middle.
Plug up that middle. And Carson Schlesinger, I think.
Yeah, I don't need anything plugged up right now, please.
No, please. Carson Schlesinger, I think, is going to they signed Jerome Baker and they drafted Carson Schlesinger because they knew JOK was going to be out. I think he's done. I think his career's probably over.
Yeah, I think we
probably.
As a Notre Dame alum, I am heart-stricken on this one. But go ahead.
Yeah. I was there when it happened. I mean, he was loud when he tackled Derrick Henry and had that neck injury. And at first, because I was so high up, I was so far away. I was like, "Is that JOK?" And everybody's like, "Yeah." And they brought out the cart and everything. I was like, "It was scary." Mm-hmm. So I'm just, glad that he's walking and he's good. But I think I think this defense is going to be better. I'm just going to say the team's going to be better because, John, you know this. Ethan, you know this. Joel, you know this. 3 wins this season is not going to cut it. These guys know this.
So I was asked, let me ask you this, just a random question, not a random question, but when I talked to Kevin Smith earlier from Fans First Sports, he asked me what I considered to be a successful season for the Browns this season. What would be deemed a successful season by most fans? And obviously we're coming off of a 3-win season. So I began by saying getting back to the playoffs. That would be deemed a successful season. Beyond
Jacksonville getting the number 1 pick.
Yep, I agree.
Yes, there it is.
That's a successful season.
Okay, I
would say that, John. Let me jump in on that question. I think a successful season is a prolonged evaluation of both Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Mm-hmm. Can Dylan Gabriel be the backup? I don't see him as a starting material kind of guy, but can he be the backup? And 2, can Shedeur Sanders be your starting quarterback, or is he a backup? That, to me, is the question that has to be answered before you get to next year's draft. And I'm not even worried about Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett. The question of the quarterback are the two people you drafted. You have to find out what you have in that quarterback room before the next year's draft, regardless of where you're picking. So
Correct.
Getting that question answered, just knowing what you have, is a successful season.
Yep. Just I think like I was going to say, figuring out what we have at quarterback, and people were complaining when the draft happened, like, we don't have a strategy. What are we doing? We don't know what we're doing. I'm like, you brought in 4 low cost options at quarterback, and you drafted 2 young guys. One with what people had as like either the top quarterback or the second quarterback in the draft, and you got him in the 5th round. I'm like, yeah. Dylan Gabriel, I think that was a Stefanski pick from what I heard. Stefanski liked him.
If I can just chime in here one more time,
sure. Tell me
with my earlier conversation with Kevin Smith, again from Fans First. I don't know if I think I've shared this before, but Kevin actually got to interview Kevin Stefanski not only once but actually twice over the last season, and it was really interesting. He was telling me the story how he went to the combine back in Indianapolis, and he reached out to Stefanski, and Stefanski reached back out, and they had lunch with him and Tommy Rees in Indianapolis. So Kevin Smith, what he said to me today, which I know has been mentioned before by local media and us too, but that at the time back in February, here's just 2 things. One was that he says all these people, he said at lunch, Stefanski said to him, all these people, including us and people that follow the team, they're all doing all this analysis and everything like this. And none of it, like, we're still, he said, we, the Browns, the organization is still analyzing all of this. And we don't know who we're taking in the draft come April. Like they were. So that was one thing. The other thing was that he was looking as far as quarterback, and you mentioned Dylan Gabriel. He said that Stefanski said to him that his biggest things were.
Is he going out, or is it me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. He said that Dylan Gabriel. That he said not specific about Dylan Gabriel, but he said he wanted a quarterback that was accurate and that was made good, sound decisions. Okay. And so
the opposite of Deshaun Watson.
Right. And that he wanted, and so that's why Kevin Smith basically said, I think they talked about these quarterbacks and that he was not surprised at all when the Browns took Dylan Gabriel at that pick, because he knew ahead of time that Stefanski was really high on him. So I thought that was really, really some interesting stuff there, because, while he is a midget and small in stature, I think Stefanski
he's taller
really
than Bryce Young, and he's taller than Kyler Murray.
So, anywho, hopefully we don't get
he looks short next to
kicked off
Flacco.
of Facebook for mentioning small people. I got in trouble when I was a kid. It's true story. I was in a shopping center with my mom. Bless her heart, she died years ago. But I was like 3, 4, 5 years old, and supposedly I saw somebody of small stature. And I was a kid. I didn't know any better, and I started, questioning out loud to my mom, who was in this store, like,
"Hey, what's with the
what
midget?
are they? What's going on?" Yeah. So I completely embarrassed my family, and it's been an ongoing story for years. But yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, back to
come on, I had to do it.
Back to Dylan Gabriel. But I just thought it was really good insight in why. But at the same time, Kevin Smith also said Shedeur Sanders, that he also exhibits a lot of the same stuff. Maybe not as, we don't give him enough credit for the decision making, and that's what I think the Browns are eager to find out with the decision making part. The accuracy, though, he said they were all high on him for that.
Yeah. How much do you think we'll bank on the preseason? I mean, preseason, we always say it doesn't mean anything, but
it does this year.
Yeah.
I think they'll get playing some. If I guess, I would guess either A, Flacco or Pickett is not on the roster. week 1, or they're carrying 4. They're carrying 3. One of those 2 are gone. They're going to use the season and the preseason both to evaluate these quarterbacks, and you're going to need to see both of them against actual NFL defenses.
All right, let me ask you guys this, because I said this to my son. I was like, you know what the worst case scenario is that somehow, whether it be Pickett or Flacco, is playing not horribly, and the Browns are winning some games, and you're not out of it. So then they don't put in either they don't put in Gabriel or Sanders because you're still in contention. And then you go to the offseason. You've seen him in practice, but you have no idea what you really have. Would that not be kind of a worst case scenario?
I would think so. Because you're walking into the draft with 2 first-round picks, not knowing what you have in your quarterback.
Well, wait, but then you don't know if you don't know what you have. Would you then still spend a pick on a quarterback high in the first round?
That's what you have.
Need to. But that's what I'm saying. So if these guys, if one of the veterans is making the team good enough that they're still in contention, they're at like 7-7, and there's 3 games to go, you're not benching the veteran. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they'll have to evaluate, what is Minnesota going to do this year? Like, that's the situation. They're counting on them getting all these primetime games because they won 14 games last year, and they have J.J. McCarthy, who hasn't played an NFL down and is coming off an injury.
And we've got to be able to see if he can play football. He's got to be able to see. We got to learn if he can play football without knowing what the defense is going to run or throw at him.
Yes.
When he lines up.
Yes.
Football's a lot harder when you don't know what's happening pre-snap.
Exactly.
And poker's a lot easier when you can see on TV what the other cards are.
Sure.
Well, they're going to spend 2 of their, or probably 3 weeks in England. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings schedule.
Yeah, that's my concern about the Vikings.
Back-to-back games against the Squealers and us Brownies.
Yeah, that was my concern. They'll be acclimated to that whole climate. That to me feels like.
Well, it's not even the climate; it's the time change.
I hope to God that they're acclimated. I had terrible jet lag when I was over there when I was a kid. I still have side effects from that.
By the way, I would agree with Amber Seven's comment right here. They need to find out what they have in Shador and Dylan. No point in wasting time playing.
By the way, Dylan is actually not the. Dylan is Dillon. By the way,
it's okay.
Found that out. So
thanks, Amber.
There you go.
Thank you, Amber.
I would agree with Amber.
Yeah, I agree. Look now. Like I said, you don't know. I remember when the schedule came out last year, we thought Washington was going to be a guaranteed W, and it didn't happen. So you never.
Washington's on TV like primetime like 1,000 times.
They made it to the AFC Championship game. Yeah, they're a good team.
Good for them. Look, I'm not worried about who's on, when, where, and how. All I want to see is what my Browns do. Exactly. Who's on first? Forget it. Look, I talked to my son. He said, what do you think about these matchups on the Sunday night games and the Monday night? I don't care. I don't care who's on. When do the Browns play and how are they?
I'm rooting for Jacksonville to lose. I'm rooting for Jacksonville to lose. I am
going to have to mute Spiro stupid ass Ditas. If that guy's on the game, I'm going to lose it. I hate that guy.
Lou, you need to be like me and just watch all the games on mute. I don't even listen to it.
I had to turn the Cavs game off, and I did listen to your play-by-play guy at the Cavs the last 2 games.
Tim is great. Tim and Jim are great. And so I did that a couple games, and I watched on mute last night. But if I am listening to that Cleveland hating SOB Spiro Ditas all season, every game it's on CBS, I'm going to lose my mind.
I tell you what, I'm going to lose my mind is that quarterback graphic they throw up all the time, man. I'm so done with that.
If I see that jersey, I'm going to lose it. Going mad.
Did you see the jersey of every Pope since 1890? That was McNeil on Twitter. That I said, awesome. That's funny. The jersey of every Pope.
That was good stuff.
I was like, yeah, that's good stuff, man.
Well, let's talk about the schedule itself. You want to go through some of the games one by one and just get your takes week 1?
We should at least announce what the schedule is to anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to pull it up.
Week 1, we're at home against Cincinnati. I have it here. Week 2, we travel to Baltimore. Week 3, we're at home against Green Bay.
Yep.
Week 4, we're at Detroit. Week 5, we're the home team for the London game in Minnesota. And then week 6, the next week, we fly to Pittsburgh. So we're taking a direct flight from London to Pittsburgh. And we play Pittsburgh that Sunday. And then we're at home against the Dolphins. And we're at home against then we go to the Patriots. And after that, we have the bye. Week 9 bye week, I like the week 9 bye week. That's good. We go to the Jets week 10. And then we got Baltimore here on week 11. Week 12, we're at the Las Vegas Raiders. Week 13, we're home against San Francisco. That's a 1:00 game.
Yep. Against
the 49ers. And then we got we're at home against the Titans. And we're at Chicago. We're home against Buffalo, home against Pittsburgh. Then week 18, we wrap it up at Cincinnati. So that's it.
So, okay, week 1 against the Bengals. Home game. How are we feeling? I'm liking it. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I always have a good vibe playing the Bengals at home. I usually do. And Bengals are notorious slow starters. Yeah.
What are the rest of you think?
It's about as good as you could get, quite frankly, if they're going to make it a division game. I'm not upset by it because I think there's a realistic chance of the Browns winning. Obviously, who knows between now and September 7th, but it's in the realm of possibility.
A lot can happen.
I think it'll be a good matchup to show us where our defense is at, because the Bengals, deceptively, when you think of the Bengals, you think of Burrow throwing it all over the yard, but they run the football very effectively, and this will be a good test for Mason Graham right out of the gate and Carl Schlesinger to see where we're at, and if Mike Hall Jr. can rebound and maybe increase on what he did at the end of last year.
Yeah,
it'll be an interesting matchup just to see how they match up against the running game, which for Cincinnati, they had struggled on offense until they figured out how to really integrate that running game, and then it became very dangerous. Yeah, so it'll be an interesting test for the defense.
Quick question about the Bengals: is Hendrickson going to be playing?
You read my mind, Lou.
Yeah, I was just thinking because he's basically talking about holding out.
You know, that dude should sit out. I mean, I have strong feelings on the players and contract. That dude should sit out 11 games so his contract will toll and he can become a free agent and then send the finger to the Bengals. I live in Bengals territory. I know what this is about. But the thing about the Bengals, and you guys saw this thing with the waivers on the rookies, where rookies wouldn't sign the protection waivers because it doesn't protect them. And so they're sitting out in mass from rookie camp.
Are you kidding me?
Bengals they're something, man.
They're a cheap organization.
Trey Henderson sitting out is like the perfect resolution to we're going to pay all these receivers and have no money left over because we're broke.
Well, what's going to happen to T. Higgins after this year? I mean, they got questions. And
I think then they signed him.
Did they give him the money?
I thought they paid both.
I think they paid both. They paid both.
I thought they franchised T. Higgins. Maybe I remember.
See, we have Daddy Warbucks as an owner.
You did. We did. They did franchise him.
Yeah,
so he's there.
I thought he had a new contract.
You might be right. Both of you might be right. He might have been franchised then to get a new contract. I'm not sure. I do know that they got a stadium issue too, and they're asking for public funds, and they're like, "Well, we Browns came first."
Right.
Yeah. But I just so you know, I don't know if you know this or not, because you guys aren't in. Roger Goodell visited Columbus.
Yes. Yep.
I saw that,
and he. There it is.
And you're right about T. Higgins. You are right. He signed, but it's like a weird deal. That's what it was. He signed a 4-year, $115 million extension. It's a whole thing. So you're right, Lou. Good call. And
he was franchised, and he did get that.
If you're watching live now, we do have the schedule up.
Just a quick thing about the stadium. There's a lot of misinformation about it, and I've been fighting against people on that because a friend sent me a story about majority of the lawmakers are against the plan. They're not against the stadium. A lot of them might be disagreeing on the funding mechanisms for it. So that's what's being debated right now. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's a matter of how. Yeah. Also, my friend and colleague Daryl Ryder, local. We're not close friends, but I interned with him years ago.
Yeah,
he had a great article, and I want to give him props on this. I guess in 2020, up until 2021, the Haslam Sports Group, the Browns and the Haslam family was working with Mayor of Cleveland, Frank Jackson, on a lakefront plan with a complete overhaul of that stadium, including reinforcing the foundation, fixing all the structural problems. All this stuff was there with the land bridge going straight to the stadium. And all this plan was in place. Well, in 2021, Justin Bibb was elected mayor of Cleveland. He came into office and he basically told the Browns and Haslam, say, yeah, we'll do our own thing. Forget this. That's what happened. So people that are complaining, saying, oh, it's just a rich guy wanting a vanity project. That wasn't the original plan, folks. That wasn't you. If you're going to blame anybody, blame the local government, because they pretty much shunned him. And he said, all right. And the thing is, in business, any successful businessman will tell you, you hire slowly and you fire quickly. And when people reveal to you who they are, believe them. So let's
pause, Lou. Let's pause for a quick break.
On that note,
we'll be right back. And we're back here. Thanks for tuning back in.
That was my stadium rant.
Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. And we have special guests, Joel Cade and Ethan Greenberg, part of our Fanatical Elves network. Thank you for being here, guys. We're talking schedules. Thanks, Lou, for your
because Cincinnati has a stadium issue too. And what DeWine wants to do is did you double the gambling tax to fund all stadiums, including Cincinnati's and Cleveland's. But the Browns have their own plan, and I think they're negotiating that as we speak. And it'll
You ever want to chat Cincinnati stadiums? We can do a separate discussion. I have a lot of strong feelings living in the Cincinnati
Dayton area.
I have a lot of strong feelings about that.
Joel, did you also buy any of the large tube TVs that they were selling to be able to pay Jamar Chase, or is that a rumor?
I hadn't even heard about the large tube.
No, did you hear they were selling the TVs? Like they were replacing TVs in the concourses and stuff, I think, or around the stadium. I think
the TVs have been like 1990s TVs in the concourses around.
Oh,
what are they calling it now? What are they calling that place now?
Hey, by the way,
whatever it is.
Joel, I just want to throw this out. I know Joel mentioned you're looking for maybe a co-host for your What the Elf show. So any of you out there who are future podcasters or current podcasters, you can touch base with Joel. Do you want to give out your email?
Sure. It's theleftguard@gmail.com.
And you can reach out to him, or you can reach us here at the Fanatical Elves here on either our X page or whatnot. You can DM us and we'll get you in contact with Joel.
I'll make it easy for you. I'll teach you the ropes. I'll mentor you along the way.
It's great, though. You know, Joel was one of our original start up the group when we started this a couple seasons ago. And really, you know, we all started from scratch. And we're building this, and had some good conversation, Ethan and Lou, with Kevin earlier today too, about just the Fans First group and how they're slowly, you know, we're getting more and increasing our popularity, and they've got some really good future plans that involve the owner of the Fans First group. That he's kind of helped this group get going the last couple of seasons, and he's really invested and going to be even more invested. Kind of like you were talking about the owner of the Brownies, you know, so the Haslams, he's not quite like the Haslams, but so eager to see what we do with Fans First here. So
he can throw money at me all he wants. I'm okay.
Right. I want more money. Like, that's right. We all
show me the money.
Yes. Did we talk about the Ratbirds game too?
We've only made it through one game.
We only made it through one game. I just said, yeah. I mean, I hope they split. If they could split the division, they could put themselves in a position to win some games. Otherwise,
Packers at home. What do you think?
Not good.
I like it. I like it again. Early season.
It's going to depend on how teams mesh. We'll see, but Green Bay's probably returning a lot of. I mean, certainly Jordan Love coming back, and they were a pretty darn good team last season. So,
yeah,
but
it's hard to predict.
Yeah, you can't. It's hard to predict these things. If I looked at it, if you look at it from the viewpoint or the stand where we're at right now, I would say the Packers. That's easily a Packers win. But obviously, let's wait till closer to the season on that. At the Lions,
Another tough game.
So I'm going to take a different angle on all this with you guys.
All right, go for it, man.
Here's what I think. We should talk about the schedule in terms of games that you're excited to possibly watch or just to travel to. So I've been to Baltimore. You're never getting me to Baltimore again.
Oh, really? I've been there. It was all right.
No.
I
mean, I'm surprised you didn't get jumped.
Joel has some really strong opinions about Baltimore.
I tailgated with my Browns fan buddy, and we had a great time. We sat in the
You probably had a mouth on you at that game too.
Like,
You're probably dropping F-bombs left and right,
right? Too, man. You come near that place, they're always like harassing you. Anyway, we're going to get off Baltimore. At Detroit, I might go to that game. That might be a fun game to go to. It's close.
Yeah,
it's straight up 75 for me. I wanted to go last year on Thanksgiving, but things get in the way.
When is that game scheduled? I can't quite read what
September
that's
28th.
September 28th.
September 28th. I think that at Pittsburgh game might be one I might go to, just because I want to go see all the stadiums in the AFC North.
Nah, I'm good.
I want to be there once just to say we are pilgrims in an unholy land.
I was at the old Three Rivers Stadium back in the day, back in the early 90s, to a game.
I saw my best friend, his family was from Pennsylvania. They were Steelers fans, and for his birthday, I went with him and his parents and saw the Steelers. They beat the Cardinals at Three Rivers, so I did go to a game there in the early 90s as well.
Lou, what do you think?
What at Pittsburgh?
Well, just that, or just any games like Joel was looking at.
I'll tell you what, the Steelers, their big question mark is quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge question mark.
I think they're not as good as people say they are.
I agree.
They turned over a lot of their receivers, their running backs, their quarterbacks. They're still in Aaron Rodgers limbo. I just there's a lot of not being talked about this team basically being rebuilt. They're in a rebuilding year and nobody's talking about it.
But that's the crazy thing is that over all these years, post Roethlisberger, that they've actually been kind of in limbo, yet are still winning 10 games or 9 games or whatever gets them above 500.
They get to the playoffs.
I never question whether it's going to be tough to play there or play against them. Just because it's
in Pittsburgh. It's in Pittsburgh.
And it's out of respect that I'm like, you know what? I can't say nothing about them.
No. Until but to be honest with you, just from this comes straight from the heart for me for Pittsburgh. I want them to suffer for 20 years what we did.
Yes. Oh,
and absolutely. I want them to eat shit every Sunday while watching it because they ran their mouths the way they did.
Hey, so what you're saying is you want them to have the Bubby Brister years.
I want them to no. I want them to have the pre-Terry Bradshaw years.
Yes.
That's what I want. That part that doesn't count in their minds because the NFL didn't exist back then. They're trying to tell me our championships that the owners voted to count, say they don't count because they're not Lombardi trophies. Those fucking people.
I'll tell you, Lou, I looked this up one time. When the Steelers came into existence, they were by far the worst team in the NFL for decades. Yep. And I think it took them almost 50 years before they 36. Won a division. 36.
Yeah.
Before they won a division.
40 years. Insane. About 40 years before they won the division. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, that's insane. They say stuff about us, but man, maybe we will approach 40 years, but we would have to double our situation right now to even come remotely close to what they went through as a fan base. So, I mean, they've had their years. Good for them. I hope they have a whole bunch more. But Lou, sounds like you like the Steelers as much as I like the Ravens.
Yeah, well, I like the Ravens. I don't really like the Ravens. Yeah, that's just what I think. So, yeah, I think just
now we have the bye week. We have this bye week after week 8.
And the Patriots and Dolphins are like a wild card. You don't know how good they're going to be. That's the thing. Jets are going to suck. Jets always suck.
The Titans game. The Titans game at the end of the season, that could definitely be Cam Ward and Shador.
It could be.
Could be.
Yeah. And then,
Kenny Pickett.
yeah. And the Bears, I mean, how good are the Bears going to be? I mean,
well, and you look at that,
yeah.
the latter part of the schedule for me, what I noted was you've got the 2 back-to-back home games with the 49ers and Titans. You go to Chicago and then you come home and you play the Bills and the Squealers before you finish the season at Cincinnati. Even though those games look tough and they probably will be, I don't know if we would be at an advantage. It's going to be home games. Especially that 49ers game could be cold. They're coming from California. The
it's
Titans
a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, the
California,
1 o'clock game.
McCaffrey will be hurt by then.
The Bills will be right there. Josh Allen will probably be right there. I think at that point in the season, I think the Squealers won't be very, very
you
much.
never know what can happen because, I mean,
Yeah.
key players could get hurt on each team, on these teams. You really don't know at this point. It's hard to say. I mean, you're talking about games in December and it's May. So,
yeah, when this schedule comes out, my son and I always start texting like, what games do you want to go to? What games do you want to see? We always go to Cincinnati because it's like an hour south of me.
Yeah.
It's quick. I texted him. I was like, I'm not sure I want to go to Cincinnati this year and watch the Browns. Who wants to watch both teams' backups in the middle of the beginning of January?
Might be a pretty cheap ticket.
Did we end the season there last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago with Jeff Driscoll.
Last year,
it was like backup quarterbacks galore, man. And they were just trying to get out of there.
Yeah, I thought it was Cincinnati.
We lost at. Did we lose at Baltimore with?
Yes.
Yes. Because we did a pregame show, and I had we Bailey Zappi, and I had a Zappi's pizza.
Bailey Zappi, yeah, Zappy.
I had the Zappi's pizza for that.
That's right. We went live, and you ate it on
I was eating a pizza.
It was good pizza, man.
Yeah, it was good shit. Yeah. So yeah, it's really hard to say, but I'm going to go out on a limb and just say that these guys, the organization, the Browns organization, and the coaches, and everybody knows that what happened last year was completely unacceptable, and they have to do better, much better. And I think they will. When the team had decent quarterback play or good quarterback play, they were competitive. So it depends. If we get good quarterback play, we don't turn the ball over. We're not doing stupid stuff.
Right.
We could play complementary football. We could be competitive. We could be competitive. Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys would all agree which quarterbacks have done best or done their best with Kevin Stefanski, as the head coach. It's the guys who are taking care of the football and running the system. They're not going crazy and trying to be freelancing and everything like that. He made Case Keenum look good in Minnesota. Baker Mayfield had a really
PJ Walker.
Yeah, I mean, we won games with these guys who played within a system. Although PJ Walker, the reason his butt was on the bench is because he tried to throw the game away when they told him, "Do not throw the ball, slide. Do not throw the ball." Hey, I'm going to throw it in the end zone party there with 3 49ers standing there.
Yeah. Yeah,
but they won the game. Ethan.
They won that. They won that game. Let me. I think too. It's like I said. If we're gonna run the ball too, you're gonna see a bigger emphasis on running the ball. Mm-hmm. 2 tight end sets. We're not gonna go to that Dorsey offense. We're gonna go to more to the Stefanski style. Earlier
about what I'm looking forward to the most, when I was on my earlier podcast with Kevin Smith, I said the running game, the running backs, these 2 young guys, and he agreed right up front. He says those 2 guys you got are going to be, you got Junkins, who's, a grinder and stuff, and then you got Sampson, and he can, cut and go. I mean, it's
mash and dash.
Yeah, definitely. How are you guys feeling about, Nick Chubb? Obviously, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I mean, how are we feeling?
It's sad to see him go. But I understand.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's business, unfortunately, and I don't love it. But we also aren't sitting at the negotiating table. Yeah, and they might be saying, "Look, we're not going to pay you as a top running back. In fact, we drafted these young guys. We think you're more of a third back at best." And he's like, and they also might be like, "Look, we can't pay you this much. You go and look, go and do." They seemingly try to do right by people. So I know people are all like angry about it and hurt, but I don't think it's being done out of a bad place. And if I just feel like, look, if there's a better opportunity out there, go for it, as long as it's not in the AFC North. And I don't think it will be. So I think we're all right.
Yeah, I
Let me
think
give you my hot take. Let me give you my hot take coming in.
Hot
As
take.
the guy who wrote an article for Dogtown Daily that I wanted Nick Chubb over Saquon Barkley and got laughed at for it, which I probably should have been. I am kind of sad that Nick Chubb may be gone. But if this was purely a business decision and they were going to do what's best for the Browns, they would have cut him last year.
Yeah.
Keeping him on the roster last year was the we're doing right by Nick Chubb situation. Okay. We knew he wasn't going to be like the Nick Chubb. It was a rehab year. It was a bounce back year. They could have said, okay, look, we're just going to cut him, sign him back for something cheaper than what we have now. And paying him what they paid him was doing right by Nick Chubb.
Right.
I think fans need to understand that they did right by him. They
Yeah,
gave him the
it
opportunity.
pisses me off, Joel, too. I agree that there's so many people out there that are Browns. They say they're Browns fans, and they really rip this franchise and continue to talk about the dysfunction of the Browns when they talk about Nick Chubb and this whole scenario. And I'm like, dude, like what the, like, it's like so not correct. You know, it's just
it's wrong. Like
wrong.
They're saying it was dysfunction for the Browns to take Shador at in the fifth round, and I'm like,
I think it's just a lazy narrative out there. It's easy to say the Browns are dysfunctional when they're doing a lot of things right. It's just they don't really understand what the right thing is. So these, look at them stupid people.
Well,
yeah.
So then just move on.
Okay, so I John, you mentioned my outburst there at the beginning and talking about the Cavs, and so let me bring this kind of full circle and
yes, we want to talk a little bit about the Cavs too,
but it's topical to the
yes.
people who are yelling and screaming about the Browns and their dysfunction after last night's game.
Cavs game.
After the last night's Cavs game, get Darius Garland out of here. He's terrible. They're talking about his box score. The guy's playing on a bum foot and he's gutting it out. So you were pissed when he sat on the bench and didn't play, and then you're pissed when he did play and had a poor game, giving his best effort.
You can't make those people happy. You can't make those people happy, right?
Because they're idiots. They're lunatics.
Yeah.
They aren't rational, and they bother the hell out of me because they're loud and annoying.
That's when you choose not to get on social media, Ethan.
Yep, I got off of Twitter last night. I just went done. I took a break.
I think that two things can be true at the same time. I think that Jarrett Allen is not the dude we need as an enforcer down there, and he didn't show up, but that doesn't mean he's not a good basketball player. It may just be a fit thing. And if
he's a really interesting character because I've met him.
Yeah.
Because he knows Dean and I know Dean Wade a little bit. And I've met Jarrett. I actually met his parents, and he's one of the nicest kids like you'll ever meet. He's from, just a genuinely good dude. But, we talk about personality. I'm sorry, in the line of work I do, we talk about personality types and some things in the workplace even, and how even amongst all the people we work with, we're all a little different. And, Jarrett probably, the way his persona is, kind of carries over in some of these, like you're talking about, is he the right kind of guy for the Cavs? He does so many good things, but
it's not about him, the person, or him like as a generally. Mike, that guy,
Oh, is that what did he say? Anybody coming to London after
the 0-4 start? Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, seriously,
Jay, hey, Mike, you could come here and 0-4 down on me, just so you know.
Nice. No, so my point being with the Nick Chubb crowd, with the
people like that is the reason why we get the rep we get. That's why.
Because they read these people.
You're pissing Lou off here, so let's keep talking Cavs.
Right, no, but they
I'm pissed about that too. So
I know.
They like. I saw somebody.
No. If we're gonna get shit on by the national media, which is a given, why shit on yourself?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely agreed. No, I see people who post stuff a bunch, and then somebody's like, "Oh, look at the media." This person isn't media. They're a fool. They're a clown on social media, and you're calling.
They probably say that about me too.
Out of here.
Ethan.
No, because you don't post stupid things. You got idiots.
Oh, I post a lot of stupid stuff.
No, you don't.
Just-
No, there was
You're
there was a show. There's an ultimate the
ultimate.
ultimate Cleveland sports show up here. There was a guest on, and she was a young lady, and she couldn't have been older than 30. Jari Epstein. She writes for Yahoo Sports.
Don't know.
And she's in Dallas. She's in Dallas. She handles the Cowboy stuff. And Adam the Bull was on the show with her, and he was just spewing off these national talking points about Jerry Jones, and she corrected him on everything.
Hey, by the
She
way, I
made
didn't
him,
know.
no. That's my point, John. She
I'm
made
sorry.
him look like an idiot because he doesn't do his research. He just reads headlines.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
I was going to follow up with you on that. Is I didn't realize until this week that Adam the Bull that you're referring to isn't even a Browns fan. He's a
he's a
Cincinnati
Bengals fan.
fan.
Yeah, he's
What
a
the
Bengals
hell
fan.
is he on Cleveland Sports Talk up in Cleveland for God's sake?
I don't know.
That
He won,
pisses the hell out of me.
he won an eating
But I
contest.
will say
I have
this:
no idea.
Adam the Bull is doing.
But
Rose
she was a
is a
defender of the
Steelers fan.
Browns. But she defended the Browns.
Yeah.
She goes, I didn't mean to defend the Browns, but I saw what they did in the draft, and I saw what they're doing this offseason. It's like, okay, yeah, the
Now-
Watson deal sucked. Was a swing and a miss. Done. It's over. Okay.
I will
we're-
say this:
we're
just
living with it.
interject here about Adam Bull again. Adam Bull is doing play-by-play with Munch Bishop, who I write with Northeast Ohio Sports Insider.
Yeah, I know
They're
much.
doing the play-by-play for the AA or single A Cleveland team this year. So I have to, tread lightly with.
Wait
my
a second. Wait. Which? What? Wait a second, because it's Jim Clark and Marco Lenaver at AA. Logan,
Well, there's some other whatever. I don't know what team.
oh wait,
it's
wait.
You talking
it's
about
a
the Lake
local
County
team up there.
captains? The Lake
Maybe.
County
That's Logan Petoskey.
There's some team that
Is it the
Munch here.
Crushers?
I'll look it up. Hold
Is
on.
it the
Just
Crushers.
keep
And that are-
talking.
If it's the Crushers, that's the Frontier League,
That
and-
might be who it is.
and that's where I started my broadcasting with the Canton Crocodiles of the Frontier League with Joe Charbonneau as the hitting coach.
Lake Erie Crushers.
Yes, of the Frontier League.
Yes.
Yeah, so that it's
So
like
he
a semi-professional ball. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good
Okay.
stuff. But they're doing the
So
play-by-play.
he and Adam the Bull, who's a Bungles fan, are going to be.
Look, man, look, I will say this about the Bengals fan thing. I grew up a Bengals fan being in Dayton, Ohio. I stopped being a Bengals fan for various reasons, none of which are good, and became a Browns fan. And I'm very happy being a Browns fan because even when the Bengals are good, they do exactly what they're doing now. They alienate their players. They treat them like dirt because they're cheap and they don't care about their players. And this is why nobody goes to Cleveland or goes to Cincinnati. And that team is only good because they have got lucky. I was explaining this. They got lucky in that they had the first pick in the year that Joe Burrow came out. If that didn't happen, they would just be a garbage team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they got Jamar Chase in that draft too, didn't they?
No, that's the next draft.
The next
There's the
year.
next draft. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you
But
guys
if they
think about
didn't-
final takes tonight? Maybe we want to wrap things up.
Who wants to go first?
Joel, go
I'll
ahead.
talk. Why not?
Go
I don't even
ahead,
know what
go
I'm
ahead,
going to
Joel.
say on my final
No,
wrap-up.
Joe, this is a
I'm
good
going to
talk.
say is this. I might go to this Las Vegas game on November 23rd for
Really?
my birthday because my birthday is the day before. I've been
Nice.
telling my son I want to go to Vegas and see the
Wait,
Browns in Vegas.
wait. Joel. What's your birthday?
November 22nd.
No. No, that's my ex-wife's birthday.
Oh,
Well, look, my ex-wife's birthday is December 7th when they play the Titans. So,
Oh, okay.
we can both hate on these things. But
see,
I was
I would
sitting
not
there
have
thinking-
suspected either one of you had ex spouse. Okay. Anyhow, back to
Go ahead,
here's
Joel.
my take. I'm going to go to Vegas.
nice.
That's what I'm going to do.
Have you been there before?
I have not.
Oh,
Nor have
okay.
I.
Okay.
Good time.
We should
I've been
take
there
a group-
twice. I've been
we
there
should go, all
twice.
go out there. Yeah.
We should all go out.
Well,
That-
I've been hearing too. We might have a chance to go to the NFL Combine next February. Is
Yes.
that right? Yeah,
Yes,
with
we've
fans
been-
first.
Yeah, I talked to Kevin about that a little bit.
I'm
we
looking
definitely-
forward to that. I'm just really looking forward to that, 'cause
I'll go watch
especially if
the
we have a
offensive
top
lineman.
5 pick. If we have a
If
top
Kevin
5
and
pick.
Kevin Smith has got an in with Kevin Stefanski, I'm right there. I think
I-
Kevin and I are doing a show next week
I will-
together and
I will challenge him to wrestle.
challenge Stefanski.
Yeah, why not? All right, you want to know my take? Just so you know,
Yes.
I am a season ticket holder. I will be at every home game. I've done it the last 2 years. I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm going to continue to do it.
You're going to ride the Rapid?
I will ride the Rapid, regardless of the
Just don't
transients.
take it west, my friend. Just don't take it west, my friend.
Oh, God. Despite the transients and whatnot, I will ride the Rapid.
Oh, it was so bad the other day. Like, it was not so bad, but when we got back to that, the Puritan exit, we stay at that La Quinta Inn, and it's a good hotel. It's not bad, but there are just a lot of interesting characters.
Oh, there's always somebody cracked out.
Yeah,
but I will be at every home game, and I'll be there. And I would say it's going to be that they're going to be better than 3 wins, and I think they need to see what they have in quarterback going into the next offseason. So I don't think we're expecting playoffs or division wins, but we're expecting something. And I'm rooting for Jacksonville to lose. So yeah.
Boom. That's boom right there, dude.
Yeah.
For me, being down in Virginia, I was looking at the schedule already with my son, deciding, well, if there's a game we might go to, the first thing that comes to mind is going up to see it then week 2 at the Ratbirds. But let me look at something, because we talked about this a little bit. Oh, they might be angry. They're going to be coming off of a short week. Well, no, they played the Sunday night game at Buffalo to open their season. So they might be mad and might want to kill the Browns week 2. But nevertheless, so I may go to that.
Lamar Jackson could break his leg in the preseason, so you never know.
No, you're 100% right. But yeah, so that may.
I'm not wishing that on anybody, just to be clear. I'm not.
No. So from the looks of things, that might be the game to head to. I'd love to go to jolly old England to see where my dad grew up and everything, and go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
But like the package that they're offering on True Fan Travel, it's like everything, and you're there and you're with people and this, that, and the other. The play, it's almost $5,000 a person, but it's a 6-day trip. I'm like,
that's not. That's pretty.
For me,
it's reasonable.
But it's $5,000 is a lot of money to me, my friend.
Oh no, I got you.
But yeah,
maybe Lou can share some of his winning one from his good old wrestling days.
There it is. There, no,
want a belt? You want a belt?
Nice.
Got a bunch of them.
Maybe I can go knock somebody out with that. And overall, I think that the schedule is what it is, and I just want to see how they develop. Let's just play it by ear. Have fun. Who cares?
Yeah, I think I need to have fun this year. Just have fun with the schedule.
Have fun watching good, solid football.
Don't expect too much. Just have fun.
Yeah. Final take question to all of you, just quickly, and I was asked this question earlier too by my other podcaster, is Stefanski's job completely safe this season, regardless of record?
No.
Okay.
No.
You can't say that with a guarantee.
No, there's no 100% guarantee in anything.
Joe, what do you think?
I would say no, but I'm going to say that I think Stefanski's a good coach, and he will eventually get these rookies running backs playing correctly, because they're going to have a learning curve. He's going to get something out of these quarterbacks. He's got 4 quarterbacks that fit his style, the statues that throw the ball accurately and read defenses. So I think it'll be a good coaching job. So if he comes in, takes care of his business, he'll be fine. If he comes in and you got that idiot Myles Garrett acting like a buffoon and causing all kinds of problems in the locker room, then you never know, he may be gone.
And there you have it.
You just love Myles. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is there music playing?
There's
you play
music.
That?
It's a good night music. It's see you later music.
It came out of nowhere.
Go Brownies. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Guys, all have a great night.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Lou, it's your show, damn it.
Well, just thank you for joining us, guys. We appreciate you. It's not mine. It's yours. It was your idea.
No.
We co-host. We're together. See you guys.
It's your name at the beginning of the show.
Is it? Well, yeah, I'm the guy on the left. Yeah, on the logo.
You're the good-looking one. I'm the ugly one.
Yeah, people tell me that all the time.
See you guys.